Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Season 2 of SpearCast. This time coming from you for Spring 2024, anything and everything SJSU related. I'm your host, Nick.
I'm Christian.
And today we are joined by two special people for the Spear, the newest editors of the Spear, Andrew Hartley and Matt Brigiano. I hope I didn't butcher it.
Yeah, that's pretty close.
All right, well, close enough. Well, we come with this episode with the biggest news, arguably, in SJSU for a while. Brent Brennan leaving SJSU to go to Arizona. What are we thinking about that for the Wildcats?
I think this is Nick Saban's fault.
It's a domino.
No, it is a domino, though. Yeah.
What do you guys think?
It's absolutely a downfall. Alabama to Indiana to Arizona. It all comes back to Nick Saban, unfortunately. And I think all Spartan fans should be a little bit
Scared.
grouchy at Nick Saban, to be quite honest.
It's a scary turnaround, considering Brent Brennan was able to turn around a season, how he turned it around from winning no games in conference to what was it, 6 in a row?
Mm-hmm. 6 in a row.
Yeah, it's definitely a scary time to be a Spartan fan right now.
Yeah, I think that this is a bittersweet moment as San Jose State has, turned around their program. They were able to go to 3 bowl games with Brennan, and ultimately now they're kind of in this weird waiting period of what is next for this team. You have a lot of seniors that are leaving, but it is an exciting year for them as, they do have a new opportunity to kind of go in a new direction. Yeah.
And then, we had that statement from our athletic director, Jeff Konya, saying that we're going to be hiring outside of the program. What do you guys think about that? Getting a new face into the program.
I personally don't think it's the greatest thing, especially when you have 4 offensive linemen that are not coming back. You have a quarterback position that's open. So I think familiarity would be the personal best thing. But, of course, they are hired by the school to know what is best.
Yeah, and the other thing, too, is the report is that he wants someone with head coaching experience. I don't know. I don't always think that's the greatest move. Just, Jesus.
Not just moving your mic, man.
I actually agree with both of you guys, and I think sometimes we, with colleges, it gets so wrapped up in big names, right? They want to get the biggest name out there. But I think it's important, again, to have a coach with chemistry with players. To have an inside hire may be a better direction if you give him time to develop as a coach. But obviously, with the recent success, they probably just want to kind of piggyback to get to another bowl game, to finally get over that hump. So I understand where they're coming from that aspect. But again, I think team chemistry and having a coach develop is more important than immediate success.
I agree with that. I think recruiting is a really large thing, especially when there's other schools in the area like Stanford or Berkeley, or you want to go down south that's still in the same state, you're relatively close. So having a coach that's great at recruiting rather than head coaching experience should be preferable in this instance, but of course, they're considering all options.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of great athletes in our backyard here, and I feel like they usually don't come here or anywhere, so they leave the state or go down south, so like you said.
Some of the only prospects, the best ones that we've had, Cade Hall and Junior Fajoko, are from our very own backyard, so
yeah. When
you go and reach within your own community, it should be a little bit smarter to go and get someone that knows that community.
Exactly.
And then what do you guys think about, everybody speculating, or not speculating, but preaching for a running back coach to be the head coach, Coach Carter? What do you guys think about that?
Well, Coach Carter has done a really good job with the running back program and has done a really good job recruiting players to San Jose State. And I think, as personality-wise and just getting along with players, to select him as a head coach, if that was an option, that would be a step in the right direction for the Spartans. And again, maybe they wouldn't experience immediate success, but when you have a face of the team like Carter, I feel like a lot of players would kind of gravitate towards someone like that.
Recognizable face in the Bay Area. Maybe the fans could get behind it too.
Yeah, you see him all over. MC Hammer having his back.
Yeah. Ellen Show, right?
Yeah, MC Hammer even, did he pull up to a game? Yeah,
right.
He did, right?
Last season, yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like with a coach like that, who's so, like you guys said, we're so recognizable and such a familiar and friendly face, I feel like it would definitely gravitate a lot more to the community than unfortunately Brennan did.
Yeah.
One thing to note, though, Brent Brennan might do his best to try to convince him to come to Arizona with him, too. 'Cause as great as a recruiter as he is, I would say, hey, why don't you come here and we could recruit even better players? Because, who would want to play in where's they going? They're going to the Big 12 now, right?
Yeah.
Because Pac-12 is big. Yeah. can have players in a Power 4 conference now, I guess. There's no more Power 5.
Are you sure players wouldn't rather play in the Mountain West?
Maybe.
What's his name? Malachi Nelson. He went to Boise State, so there's definitely some promise here.
Yeah, and then we had to have some other news for the football program as well. Matt.
Speaking of potential promises, right? Chubba Purdy recently committed to San Jose State. While this may be just a temporary thing, or he does have the option to transfer to another school, still exciting news to see another Purdy in the Bay Area. Transfer from Nebraska. He started in, I believe, 2 or 3 games last year.
Yeah, sounds about right.
So, what do you guys feel about this? A new Purdy in the Bay Area.
I mean, if it's something the fans can get behind, I'm with it. If Brock Purdy shows up on the sidelines, I'm with it. I think.
Yeah.
I think it could boost the school's popularity around the area.
It would definitely boost
football at least.
It would definitely boost ticket sales, because obviously
100%.
if someone like Chubba does come here and play here, because let's be honest now, he's more than likely going to be the starter just because of his name, and then his brother's going to pull up because obviously he's just down the street, and then people are like how Christian just said, more than likely Niner fans, they're going to want to see Purdy up close. Especially if you're just a fan, you're just gonna be like, oh my God, it's Purdy.
And Brock Purdy did shoot was it American or Alaskan Airlines commercial at San Jose State this past season too. So he'll be the second Purdy to throw a football at SFQ Stadium. But
wouldn't be the first.
Yeah, talking about familiar faces, I think to have Purdy there would be good. Obviously, if he has immediate success, a lot of people are gonna flock to SFQ Stadium.
Imagine the NIL deals for him too.
Oh man,
the NIL deals would go insane. Yeah, because it's a local, and you would have San Jose State, but with a Purdy on your back, people are gonna go crazy, and then the 49ers,
I'm sure,
it's gonna be red and blue.
49er players are gonna come through,
It's your leader's little brother.
Yeah.
How you're not gonna want to go.
And especially if they have immediate success, could you imagine the crowds that are gonna come? That game against Stanford that they're set to play this year on Black Friday will be probably near sold out. Right?
It'll be Brock Purdy and Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, Brock Purdy, exactly. Brock Purdy and Christian McCaffrey are gonna pull up.
Now it's talking about games ahead. It definitely seems I don't know. The schedule is kind of weird. We got Sacramento, Kennesaw, Washington, Stanford, Air Force, Colorado State, Fresno State, Boise, Nevada, UNLV, Wyoming, and then Oregon State.
Yeah.
It's definitely
nice Oregon State game at the end there.
just capping off a little salt to wound, so we can see what happens.
Yeah.
But compared to last season's schedule, how do you guys think will fare?
A lot of the conference games they played last semester were really, really close. You talk about Air Force as a game where I believe they blew the lead, and I think obviously they're gonna have a new team next year. Shev's not there, Kyrie's not there anymore, so they will have a new team. So it's hard to say right now, in my opinion, where they're gonna stand. But I do think if they kind of can piggyback off their success of last year, that these are really winnable games for the Spartans going into the season.
I can also agree with that, and not to speculate about head coaching, but Chubba Purdy is someone who's a dual threat quarterback, over 300 rushing yards this past year alone. So not that he's Chevin Cordero exactly, but if you want that same kind of upside with rushing in the offense, he's definitely someone that can do that for you.
Yeah, but with Brennan leaving and everything, and then obviously the possibility of Purdy coming in, because like we said, he's only committed. We did lose and we did gain some players as well.
Yeah.
Most notably, like you just said, what was the name you just mentioned?
Kyrie Robinson.
Yeah.
He's a senior. He's done, and Chev's gone.
But
Fernando's gone.
Yeah, we did have a lot of for Fernando transferring to Arkansas, which is obviously a big one for us because
huge. No more burrito, right?
Yeah. Surprisingly, it's there for now.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see if Callaway gets rid of it.
I don't think they know. I don't think they follow San Jose State.
Right. They need to have a burrito shop, and I don't know how many there are out there, but if there's one out there, they need to just carry it over. They need to transfer that burrito.
Transfer the burrito.
Burrito store in Arkansas.
Yes. Any burrito stores in Arkansas, please pick up that burrito.
Though the burrito's gonna hit the transfer portal.
Yeah, I know. What a shame.
But besides football and obviously all the news, which we're gonna follow very closely, which you can look at on the Spear website. Basketball. What do you guys think about that team going so far? Losing on buzzer beaters and just clawing their way for wins, trying to.
They had one buzzer beater the other day where they beat
Air Force, right?
For every one buzzer beater you get, you have two against you. It's just so unfortunate. San Diego State got nationally ranked this past team, and we were right there in a position to beat San Diego State.
We were right behind them the entire time.
It's just such a difficult season because they can compete with some of the best in the conference, some in the nation, but they're just not finishing that last step.
Yeah, this in 8-10 right now, and again, like you said, they can hang with San Diego State, and obviously San Diego State, one of the Final Four teams last year, and it kind of just proves how far this basketball program has come. But it's like close but no cigar, and I kind of wonder, how that kind of fades or how that puts the whole season in perspective. Will this be a continuing trend for the Spartans of getting there, playing good basketball, but just not being able to finish the game? Or will we see some kind of turnaround where they start kind of picking things up and, putting themselves in position of giving themselves wider margins at the end of games there?
I believe it was the San Diego State game where they understood that inside they just were not having Ajame Zhang. He fouls, and Tim Miles openly recognizes that. But they went to a 1-3-1 zone, and it was really successful for them. So I'm anticipating more zone play throughout the rest of the season. Hopefully that'll help them with some of these bigger mismatches they have down the stretch.
Yeah, because San Jose versus San Diego, there were obviously like some big size differences. Mm-hmm. Like we had some guys that were able to match him in height, but not in muscle. Yeah. Leedy, he was what? How big is he? And like how much did you weigh? That man was a unit. Mm-hmm. And then not only that, his size, but obviously we all know he's an NBA prospect. So to go against that, but like you guys just mentioned, we only lost by 3, so 78-81. So we were right there with them the entire time. And then at half, was that tied or were we in the lead?
I believe we were in the lead.
Yeah. So we were like you guys just said, we are right there. It's just those final little pieces like we got to put together now.
Yeah. If they can somehow find a way to kind of tie those loose ends before the season ends, we could see them being a more competitive team and maybe even doing better than they did last year and the year before that. And especially missing such a key piece like Amari Moore and being able to kind of continue that success, I think it states a lot for Spartan basketball. Again, we talk about having names and celebrities go out to a game. We saw Ronnie Lott there was at the game against San Diego State. So I hope they continue to kind of again tie up these loose ends, come out with victories at the end, and hopefully that can draw in a bigger crowd for the Spartans going into the end of the season there.
Yeah. So, but we're gonna see because we're about maybe a third away through conference play. Looks like so far. And we still have yet to face some of the big names Utah.
There's still Colorado State.
Yeah. we still have some heavy hitters to face. Yeah. And then obviously we are as of right now those teams are still ranked. Mm-hmm. So we're gonna see how we fare against them again. But especially if these guys are in our conference and if we can compete against them, that's just gonna tell everybody else in the nation and be we're a small school, but we can still ball.
I don't know if this is another thing or whatnot, but Omari Moore might not have been the biggest loss. Robert Vaihola might have been the biggest loss because this team, it's just so difficult for them down inside in the paint. So going, again, just down the stretch, I think it's just managing that inside paint play because they haven't found a go-to person like Myron Amy has a night or Tibet Goyner has a night last night. It's just really about managing that inside presence.
Do you think if all of these guys just like you said, just finally get it together, we're gonna start winning games like crazy? Obviously, maybe not NCAA tournament crazy, but do you think we will have a chance?
They'd be 4-0 in conference play right now if they just figured out the last 2 minutes of a basketball game. So absolutely.
It's a good way to put it.
Mm-hmm. All right, and then obviously on the women's side of things, it's a little worse for wear.
Struggle bus.
Yeah, 6 for 10 overall, 1-3 in conference. It's just both sides of the ball right now. Both sides of it, we're just struggling. And it's just, what do you think about that?
They haven't been healthy, so you can give them a little bit more. It's April Phillips' second year, but it's definitely a rebuild for sure. They have promising talent at the guard positions. I think every single one of their guards is an underclassman, so it's there. They had, I think, at least in April Phillips, are in 29 turnovers, the highest it's been in 2 years. So there's promise. You have scoring guards, but it's just about learning how it's like to play in the collegiate level.
Exactly. I think I was going to say they're a really young team. Turnovers, I feel like that's been their biggest problem. Am I wrong saying that? I think it's a developing team, and it's going to have to wait and let them develop, I guess.
Yeah, because the season, goes up until, March-ish?
Yeah.
Somewhere around there.
And then because Amaya Moreland is by far the best guard on this team, big on this team, but she can't play 38 minutes every night just from a rest standpoint. So having Samaj Smith there, having Tonga there, just being able to be active, that'll definitely help.
Matt, you got anything else?
I was just gonna say, they have a key piece in freshman Jai Levette, and I think she currently is she's third in scoring right now in the Mountain West with 33 points a game, and I think or averaging 33 points a game. And I think having that kind of freshman piece could do good in longevity, right? Maybe this team is not there this season, but having her develop if she comes back next year, that could be huge for the future of San Jose State women's basketball program.
And then this is obviously at a broader scope of things. What do you guys think about San Jose State being considered a developmental school compared to a winning school?
I could definitely see that.
It's there.
Yeah. I mean, you look at a guy like Fernando, he became a really good run blocker this year, and then he got poached to Arkansas. I mean even Brent Brennan
even our
developed.
coaches are use San Jose State as a developmental school, which and that might be a reason kind of why San Jose State hasn't pushed itself further, because it's hard to build something when you constantly are having to rebuild every so often. And I think that's one thing that we can say positive about Brennan too, is that he could have had the chance to leave in 2020 when they went to their first bowl game, but he stayed.
And in 2020 they won that championship.
Yeah, exactly. And then when you have I think back when I was a kid in San Jose State, in 2012, the coach there left before the bowl game even happened, and they lost that. Or no, they won the Military Bowl. But I think that San Jose State is definitely used for a lot of college athletes and a lot of college coaches. It's just a temporary spot for a bigger job, and that kind of sucks because again, it's really hard to build on something when you're constantly having to rebuild it.
Do you think down the line there's ever a chance of San Jose State becoming a school where it's eventually or hopefully a Power 5 or anything like that?
It depends on who's there. It depends on the coach. I think if your motto is you want to get a bigger job, right, then you're going to leave at any chance you get. But if you're a coach who wants to stay and build something here, it only takes one person to change around a whole program, right?
Right.
Alonzo Carter.
Finding that person that's within the community, it's big.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
we're gonna culture.
Yeah, we're gonna see. We're gonna see what happens in the 408 for pretty much everything now. And we have a few sports coming up, and we're gonna see how they fare. But
baseball.
Baseball's a big one. But we're currently writing all this big news from football and obviously basketball. Oh, then gymnastics coming up too. Forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing. The inaugural season, right, for us?
For Mountain West.
For the Mountain. Oh,
yeah, Mountain West. Yeah, because I think we played a few competitions last year, but then now it's for Mountain West play.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so we're gonna see. We're gonna see how our Spartans fare this semester, and we're gonna see how they could fare this seasons, because it's a big one all around.
Yeah,
we agree.
We agree.
All right. Well, it's been a blast to finally come back and speak to the people, whoever's watching. Let's be real here. I've been your host, Nick.
I'm your host, Christian.
And these are two, Andrew and Matt. Thank you for coming on again.
Of course. Thank you for having us.
And we will see you guys next time.
Peace.
But I've been your host, Christian. Wait, I'll wait. What the?
Outtakes.